Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Hope you're doing well today. Today I want to do a video. Basically started because one of my friends has been watching some of my YouTubes and was basically asking me like about products and like how to up her like makeup game. One thing that I always suggest, and I feel like there has been a bit more of this like on TikTok and that kind of stuff, is wear more makeup. Sometimes you're just not wearing enough. Sometimes you're just not taking your time with the products enough, and actually the products that you have could be like perfectly fine, but yeah, you might just need to use them a little bit differently, a little bit heavier. And when I say this, I don't mean like Meredith, whatever her name is, where you're like putting on layer, layer, layer and it's like cakey. But sometimes I see like the girlies with the skin tints wondering why they're not looking like the full glam girlies. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to use the same products on both sides of my face. One side is going to be a bit like less time. I'm still going to put effort in, because obviously if you don't put any effort in, your makeup's going to look shit. So this side I think is going to be my side where I kind of just pay a little bit less attention and put a little bit less on. And this side we're going to do it a bit heavier, a bit more, and we're actually going to like compare the two and actually see if what I'm telling people and what is going on is the vibe. In my head, this side is going to look 10 times better. I could be proved wrong. And I'll hold my hands up literally if that is the case, and this side could also look good, but I think this side is going to look better because I do think that sometimes you just need to put more on. This obviously doesn't apply to everybody. Some people feel like they look better with less makeup, and that is like fine, but it's for those girlies that want to like step it up and maybe go from being like a non full coverage girly or like non-makeup girly to a makeup girly. Okay, I would love it if you can like and subscribe. It would mean an awful lot to me. And yeah, let's get into it. Okay, I've got like, I had to set up like my work computer like here, because I have like just a little flat, but when I have like all my work stuff out and I film here, it's like, it sends my organisation, like neatness, crazy. So we're going to start off with primers. If you're not new here, you know I'm a primer girly and I think primers step your makeup up. If you are new here, welcome, and I will convince you to become in love with primers. So we're going to start off with the Glotion. I've actually been really loving this. I tried this out in my, like, I did like a big makeup haul and then I tried out the products, and I just thought it was going to be a different product. So when I first tried it out, I felt like I was let down, but I think, sorry, hay fever, I think I was just not understanding the product. Now I understand what it's meant to be used for. I've been really enjoying it, and obviously it's quite fairly priced. So yeah, this side is going to be my like less, and this side is going to be my little bit more. So on this side I'm just going to do like, still going to put some on, but it's just going to be a little bit, and on this side I'm going to kind of put on what I would normally use. So with primers I kind of go heavy. I have dry skin. I'm going to just take this brush. I realise I don't really mention my brushes enough, so we're going to start. This is the MV 100, and it's like a flat topped kind of like dense brush. reminds me of like a paintbrush. And I'm just gonna buff this in. I have dry skin, so I can like layer up quite a few primers, but I even think if you've got oily skin, like your primers would probably like change, so you probably wouldn't use as many hydrating primers. But I honestly feel like layering primers is not an issue. Obviously you will find that some fight each other, but I never really have problems. Okay, so that's the side. Got a really nice bit of glow, and then we're gonna go, I'm gonna use a different brush so I'm not like putting more product over here. Do I have enough brushes to do this though? And on this side we're just gonna lightly buff that in. And like I said in my intro, like if you don't want to wear loads of makeup, like that's fine, but this kind of thought process is for when you do. Basically. Okay, so lots of shine, and then you've still got that shine, but it's just a lot more minimal. I mean, it still looks nice, still looks fresh. So that is all buffed in. This primer, this iconic Velvet Smooth Pore Refining Primer, I really love. I am a big Iconic London girly. I feel like there's some products which are just unreal, and primers for them are great. I love their mascaras. I feel like sometimes their products are a bit gimmicky, but I think if you kind of like go through that, there's some really good products from Iconic London. So yeah, I'm a big fan. Okay, so we're going to take some of my fingers so I can kind of, normally I just kind of put it on my face, but I want to be able to see like how much I'm putting. So on this I've just got a little dot, and I'm going to just focus that in the middle. I want to put more on, so I've kind of got a little bit there and a little bit there, and on this side I'm going to do the same. I'm going to basically do double. And this is quite silicone-y, maybe even a bit more. It's quite silicone, I can never say that word. I don't know if it's silicone or like if I was to say it's got a lot of silicone, or like silicone. Is it cone or con? I don't know which one it is, and my dyslexic brain doesn't understand. Anyway, yeah, it's got, I feel like it does have that kind of like silicone vibe, but it's quite hydrating, and I don't find it super slippy. And yeah, it takes off a bit of glow, but I find that it doesn't really mattify. It's like a blurring, but like it blurs without fully mattifying, which I quite like. And I just kind of put that in the centre of my face, like basically where my texture is the biggest, but I really do feel like it really blurs. And on this side with my other brush, I'm just gonna lightly do that. And to be honest, both sides look quite similar. This just has a bit more like something to it, but this side still looks actually quite pretty. Okay, next for the big thing, which is like complexion, I've pulled out my NARS Radiant Longwear, and this is in Mont Blanc. I don't feel like this colour is right for me anymore, and we're gonna actually use a sponge today. So we're gonna do, that was almost like a pump and a half on this side, which is enough, because we still want to put some on. We don't want it to like not be enough, but that's that side. I mean, it does look actually quite neutral, so maybe I just wish it was a bit cooler. And so I'm going to do 2 pumps. This is one, I'm doing another. Okay, probably shouldn't have done them at the same time because one's going to sit on my face longer, but this one won't take long to blend out. So this is the lesser side, but this foundation is stunning. It's got a lot of coverage for without having to put a lot on. It never feels heavy, it wears really nice. Like if you are looking for like a really nice foundation. This is almost like a staple. I mean, it does look lovely. So that side looks out, and do you know what? This colour's fine. I think maybe actually though it's the summer, isn't it? So I might not look tan, but for me, I have a bit more colour than normal. And my hair's warmer. I know it's only a little bit. I feel like my complexion really changes with my hair colour. I spoke to Liam the other day and I think I want to go dark again. I mean, I am enjoying this like gingery blonde, but I feel like it's time to go back to like fully dark. I need to just sit with it a bit. Okay, and then we've got this side which had the like extra pump. And we're just gonna work this in. So you'll instantly see that there's like more coverage because obviously there's more of it. This foundation never looks cakey on me, it just looks, and it stays flawless. But yeah, I don't know if you can see, like, even though this side looks pretty and this side just looks that bit more smoother, airbrushed, like blanker, just yeah. Okay, for concealer, I like to use 2 concealers if I'm doing like a makeup look. I always like something that is a bit lighter and a bit more full coverage. I don't like to go in with like just one. So this is my Bear With Me. So this is a serum concealer. I think this just gives me that extra coverage, and then I like to go in with something that's a bit brighter. So I've got my Vanish. But with this side, I'm just going to use like 2 little pumps and just dot this around. So a lot less product than I would normally do. So I'm just going to do this one at a time actually with the concealer. And I'm still using like a decent amount. I'm not trying to do like a no makeup on one side. Like I still want this to like look like the makeup look, but I just want to show that just applying like a little bit more just like steps it up. Okay, so that side, so again, it's a really lovely finish. And then I'm going to use a tiny bit of this Vanish. This is in Birch. I forgot to say that this is in the fair colour. And I'm just going to do a tiny bit, like the tiniest bit. A bit more. And again, just blend that in. Just focusing it on that centre part. So yeah, so it's still a really lovely base. It's still, like everything's covered, but it's just a little less. Okay, and now on this side we're gonna do 3 pumps with the NYX Bear With Me. And we're gonna just apply a little bit more kind of everywhere. I like to lighten up under here sometimes. I'm not blessed with like the best cheekbones, so that's that side. And then with the Vanish, with the Hourglass, we're gonna just put a little bit extra. Very similar placement, but we're just putting a little bit more. And we're gonna, again with the sponge, I always have to put some around my nose because of my allergies. Do you know what I did see the other day though, and I've seen more and more people do it, is they do their blush and their bronzer before they do their concealer, and I really want to try that to see whether that like makes a difference. I think it makes it more like blended, if that makes sense. Okay, so this is where we're at now, and you can start to see that there like is a difference. This side has a bit more like contrast already, so the high points are lighter, the darker points are darker. This is still looking kind of like one tone. I've managed to create more dimension and definition on this side than this side. Cream contour, I'm going to go with my Milk stick in Toasted. Do you know what, I still haven't even wound this up yet. Now that's Like, I literally still have all of the product left. And I've had this like maybe a year or two. Okay, so this side we're going to do a little bit here, a little bit there, and a little bit down the nose. Yeah. And then we're going to take a brush. Where is my favourite brush? I need to give this a bit of a clean. I have certain brushes that get like dirtier quicker. And yeah, we're just gonna blend this out. And obviously now adding back in that definition. And again, it still looks very pretty. And then this side we're gonna do it a bit more. I'm gonna go down a bit with this one. I really want to sculpt. We're gonna go down the whole nose on this side, and we're gonna really bronze up here. I'm gonna do a tiny bit on there. Sometimes I feel like when I do my jaw, it doesn't look that much nicer, but if I do a tiny bit just on this section, I quite like it. Sorry, again, I'm not talking through my brushes. This is the A42 from Makeup by L'Oreal. This is my favourite cream bronzer brush. I really think bronzing your forehead. Sometimes when I do a really bronzy forehead, I feel like I look like so much more snatched. Okay, so this side still looks pretty. Everything's there. But I feel like it just looks, I mean, it just looks less. This side just looks, yeah, more snatched, more, I think, like, looks more flawless. I feel like on camera though, it looks the opposite, but in my mirror, this looks so much more like got dimension, and there's like, I guess it's because I can see more imperfections on this side, whereas this just looks like sculpted. Cream blush, we're gonna go in with P. Louise Gentle Ginger. I mean, I'm not a big blushy girl anyway, so I'm not going to be using a lot of this. So I put a bit on my hand, and I'm basically just going to work that in. I'm just going to work that onto the cheek. I think the key for this is kind of the time. I'm just going to kind of quickly dab it on, just so it's there. And then on this side, we're going to spend a little bit more time adding and blending in. And this brush is the A58, and this is my favourite blush, liquid blush brush. Okay, I'm gonna go back in with a little bit of bronzer. So this is the Refi bronzer in June, and I'm just gonna do a tiny bit at the back. I just like to kind of re-blend in the contour and the blush, just a little bit there, and then I'm going to do obviously a little bit more on this side, and I'm going to do my forehead on this side too. Okay, we're now going to powder. So I've got my hoodie, and we're basically going to, on this side, we're not going to bake. So I'm going to take a nice fluffy brush, not that big, this one. So a fluffy brush, but it's not too massive. So the one I picked up, this is like a big, I would not use this for powder. I would probably use this for like a really blown out bronzer. I like to use something a little bit smaller for my powder when I use a brush, unless I'm in a real hurry and I just need to apply the powder as quick as possible. I'm going to just pour some out, and I'm going to coat this brush so it's like full, and then I'm just going to start to just dust this over everywhere. So it's still mattifying it, but I'm just really just dispersing it a lot more, like lightly. That's all mattified, and then on this side we're gonna bake. And when I say bake, I don't really like fully bake. I do like a half bake. I just kind of push it in with a puff, but I do take a lot of product and kind of, so we're gonna go under the eyes, And we're going to really just push that in. And we're going to go down here to really almost snatch the jawline, and then go over the rest of the face. I think this makes the biggest difference, I feel. So I feel like this side, again, it looks nice. I don't think this side looks bad. I think it looks a lot more like one-dimensional. Like, it still has a bit of dimension because I have put those products on, but it's just a bit flatter. Whereas this side is so much more sculpted. But yeah, this looks like how I would want my makeup to look if I'm doing like a glam look. You can see here I've got a lot more structure in my cheekbones than here. I feel like, yeah, there's just... For powder bronzer, I've got my e.l.f. Primer Infused Bronzer in Forever Sun-Kissed, which I can never really open, it's quite hard. And then I'm taking my NARS Kabuki brush. And I'm just going to dab in like quite lightly and just set that kind of down. But on this side, I'm just going to take a bit more product and just almost set it down the same, but again, just add a bit more on, and again, do my temples. I feel like, to be honest, like complexion is kind of the main bit. I feel like with eyes and lips and stuff like that, like, I'm just going to spray everything down. I'm just going to spray it all because I don't know how I can just do that. Maybe I can try. Whilst that is setting, I'm just gonna, I did put in, yeah, that by Ellie brow product already in my brows, so they're pretty stuck down. I did do them pretty even. And then, yeah, so we're gonna do this side first, and I'm literally just going to basically just fill in the tail on this one, but kind of leave the rest of the brow. But on this one, I'm gonna sharpen up underneath, and again just filling in the tail. To be honest, my brows never need like loads of work because they're quite full. A little bit more perfect. So perfect brow, and just a good brow but not perfect. Okay, for eyes, what do I want to do? I have got my, I'm just gonna do a warm smoky eye. Like, we can't really go wrong with that. Okay, so I lost one of my favorite makeup brushes, like blender brushes, and it makes me sad. So we've just got the leftover concealer on the eye, which I think is gonna be fine. I just can't be bothered to go grab my other Viva eye wand. Okay, and I've basically got my 42 pan, like the brownie one, which I've been picking up more now that I have warmer hair. I feel like it works a bit better. And yeah, we're just gonna kind of go in. And should I do this eye first? Yeah, let me do this eye first, and I'm just gonna kind of create like a simple smoky eye. But I'm just going to apply it a bit lighter, and I'm not going to use it as many colours, so it's just going to be like just a very like quick kind of build up, and just run that under. Very quick, very easy. On this side I'm going to take those same tones, but I'm just going to spend a bit more time. And I'm basically picking up the same shades, but just spending that little bit more time at blending. I think with eye looks, the way to elevate is just to really just blend. But again, I do think it is like putting more on, creating a bit more dimension, a bit more of a shape, all of those things. I've always been, even though I'm not the best at eyeshadow, I've always been like a eyeshadow like girl. Even when I didn't really know what I was doing with makeup, I've always worn like quite heavy eyeshadow. I'm just creating, yeah, that bit more dimension with some different tones, and I'm actually going to take like a lighter tone just to, again, just show if you put on a bit more that it just, yeah, looks a bit better. But again, just with that little bit more product. So still a nice, quick, easy, smoky eye, but it's just kind of like 2 shades, quite quick. And then here, I've just spent that bit of time like working with the shape, with the levels. Okay, I'm gonna go in now with the Viva Eye Wand in Coffee, and I'm just gonna tight line. I mean, I don't know how you do like more or less with that. And then with my Espresso Eye Wand, what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna take my little detailer brush, and this is the A7, and I'm just like, I like to take this on the brush like that, and I'm just gonna add a bit of depth on top. This is quite like a light step, it's not like loads, but I just really think it adds like definition around the eye. And what I'm just gonna do on this one is not do it. I feel like I can't really do this step like less. Can you see that kind of just like a little bit on the eye? Okay, I think to be honest that's really it for the eyes, because I just wanted a kind of like simple look. Okay, so as you can see, this side is just that bit more matte. We've spoken about the dimension, the sculpturedness. This side again is still pretty, but there's just like less coverage here, like there is less dimension. I find that this side just looks, yeah, it looks fine. What I really don't want to be saying that like less or more makeup is like better or worse, but it's for when you want that like snatched look. This doesn't look snatched. It looks pretty, it looks fine, but this is snatched. This is when you want to like take it to that next level. For eyes, we are going to, I've realised I'm just really not a lash girly anymore. I don't know whether it's the times or it's me, but I just never want to put them on. And I'm not going to today. I'm going to curl my lashes on both sides. Let's do this side first. I'm just going to, and this is the Big Mood mascara from ELF. I quite like this for when I want like a chunky lash. And I'm just going to put a bit less on, maybe like just one coat. And then we're going to do the bottom as well. This mascara is a bit annoying for the bottom. So it's a really nice mascara. I like a clumpy eyelash. And yeah, we're just going to do a little bit more on this side. A few more layers, a bit more time, really working it in. Getting like every lash. Okay, I don't know how well you can see that, but in person you can see. So this obviously eye is just a bit thicker. All the lashes are coated. Just looks a bit more dramatic. And this eye, I mean, the mascara is still there, but it's just less of it and just less like dramatic, whereas this has just got more like thickness to it. And then lastly we're going to do lips. Again, I don't really know how to do this. So we have taupe lip liner, and we're just gonna like go over it a little bit. So the liner is there, but it's this side. I'm definitely applying just like a little bit more definition, dimension, like so. Put like less on with like gloss, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take like a brush with this side and just not apply as much. This is my, sorry, I'm not talking to the products, Refi Taupe Lip Liner. And then this is my Jeffree Star Gloss, my favourite all-time gloss. This is in Celebrity Skin. So yeah, I've just taken some off the brush. I'm just gonna lightly put some on. It's just not bad. And then on this side, I'm just gonna actually apply it. And then what I'm going to do on this side, which I didn't do on this side, is I'm going to take Fawn, so a slightly darker liner, and I'm just going on the outside just to really create that definition. Okay, so here we have it, both sides side by side. I can see a major difference. I want to like cover it. Let me get this, see if this works. So let's do this side first. So still really pretty. It just doesn't have that like full makeup vibe. Again, it's all still there, but the lips are less defined, face is less defined. I've got more like stuff peeking through. Everything is just like, it's nice, but it's not like snatched. And then we've got this side, we've got so much more definition, we've got so much more like angles going on. And yeah, I just think when even looking at them side by side, I think this one just looks elevated. And I've literally obviously used the same products, and I didn't spend that much more time on this side. Like, I probably spent like a few more seconds. It wasn't as if I spent like 1 second on this and 3 minutes on this. This, in person, this side looks so much more airbrushed. Like, my skin looks like fluffy and pillowy. This side, I can see like my skin a bit more, which is not a negative, but I think everything just looks a bit more flattering on my face. There's just, yeah, something lackluster on this side. So I think it looks pretty. I'd go out like this. I do go out like this when I don't want like a full like snatched look. This is kind of like if I was going for like a quick meal, like kind of daytime look. This is my like nighttime, more snatched, like a look. Yeah, hope this has helped any of you guys that do want to like just level up. You want your makeup to be like makeuping. That is the purpose of this video. But yeah, so here's the final look. Let me know what you guys think, whether you guys agree with what I'm saying. And yeah, let me know if you do try just to put on like that little bit more, and if it achieves that like, just that bit more for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I felt like I waffled on an awful lot, but I guess that's what YouTube is for. But yeah, I hope you have a lovely day. Thank you guys so much for watching. And yeah, hopefully see you again super soon.